Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to In My Feelings, a safe space to talk all things NBA. I'm your host, Big Waz. Let's go. All right, folks, let's get right into Fact or Feelings. Fact or Feelings, guys. The haters have to forever shut the up about Nikola Jokic. Let's rewind to last week. Oh, man, it was dark times in Nuggets land. They were down 0-2 to the Wolves in their second round series. Jokic in game 2 looked particularly lost. They were dominated on offense. They just could not get anything going. This is one of the historical offenses that we've seen, and the Wolves just grind them down into dust. And woo, the haters came out in full force. I was on my man Dominique Foxworth show. That's my brother. Shouts to Dominique. I was on there with him. He was taking a victory lap. Oh, y'all talking about Jokic, one of the greatest, blah, 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 blah. I mean, people coming from out of the woodworks about, oh, the competition last year wasn't that strong, and he had an easy road to the finals, and they didn't play any real dominant teams, and especially any dominant defenses. And look, the Wolves are about to sweep them, and you know, what kind of historic big man does this happen to, and blah, 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 blah. And they went crazy. Guys, we're taping this on the heels of what is probably Nikola Jokic's best game that he's ever played. 40 points, 16 of 22 shooting, 13 assists, 7 boards, no turnovers on a night where nobody on Denver could do anything besides Jokic. He's dominating the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Not even just that he's dominating, he's seeking the matchup up. He's saying, where's Rudy? Let's find him. I want to go one-on-one against him. Making the most ridiculous shots. And again, I thought last year's run through the playoffs was enough for people, the skeptics, the people that felt like, oh, he's getting too much praise and all of this stuff. He's not that good. If you want to look at his playoff averages from the last 3 to 4 seasons, he's averaging like 32 points, 13 boards, 8 assists. Like, this is his line in the postseason, guys. This isn't like something that just happened last year, but it was just amazing to watch the haters come out the woodwork. And like, no matter what happens in the rest of this series, this guy is legitimately one of the all-time greatest players. In terms of offensive talent and output, he's right there with anyone I've ever seen, and I mean anyone. In terms of his overall offensive impact, guys, just give it a rest, just bury it. We've all had to get there with players, you know, like we've all had like, oh, we thought we were right about something, and then, you know, eventually we get proven wrong. Guys, put your Jokic hate away, the hater hat. It's not gonna work. It's gonna be discredited. It's over, haters. Goodbye. All right, folks, let's do a quick little vibe check with none other than the young upstart pups in Oklahoma City, man. I thought they had a fourth quarter for the ages, an era-defining fourth quarter in that Game 4 against the Dallas Mavericks the other night. The reason why I say this, man, is because as a young team, they're down 2-1. They're basically playing for the season. Their offense is completely stuck in the mud. It's looking dire. Like, it's looking like Dallas is going to close this thing out. They're at home. They have the support behind them. And I'll be damned if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, their MVP candidate, didn't put the team on his back. No paint shots, no threes, just mid-range assassin to death in a quarter where his all-star/superstar counterparts and Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic simply could not get anything to fall. Shai was completely sublime. This is a young team. If they would have packed it up and folded, it'd have been like, you know what? This is one of the youngest teams in the league. They have an incredible core. They have a bunch of assets and avenues to improve upon the roster. They can get bigger. They can get deeper. They can work things on the edges, but this kind of thing happens to young teams. Everybody would have been completely satisfied with this season. Everybody would have had a great outlook on next year. It would have been completely justified if OKC packed it up. But the fact that they did the opposite, to be this young and precocious, and again, it's not just Shai. Chet hit a huge three-pointer in the corner. This is before we even get into how he's stoning guys at the basket. Just the ultimate rim protection deterrent. Gafford, Lively, these are big boys going straight at Chet. It's incredible, man. I'm at a loss for words for what they're doing. J-Dub hasn't had the best series. I think he's definitely having a welcome to the playoffs moment. I think he'll absolutely be better for it. But even him at the end didn't stop fighting. I just think, man, the kids are going to be all right. And it was just so cool to see that resilience to tie this thing up in 2-2. And no matter what happens to finish off this series, guys, the resilience they showed in game 4, like I said, this is era-defining stuff. That's the moment where it clicks. These guys have the mettle and the heart right now, man, and they're building these postseason habits right now. And it's the coolest thing to see, to watch a young team go from, are they ready to do it, to just seizing a game in a big spot like that. And so OKC, man, everybody who's a basketball fan should be excited for what they got going on, man. Can't wait to watch the rest of what they do. All right, guys, I just wanted to flag something before we get out of here, man, because we've watched some incredible playoff performances so far, man, and we're only basically halfway through this thing. We won't soon forget the stuff that we've seen from Brunson and Joker and Ant Edwards, and it's just been some crazy performances. But another guy who has been a playoff standout that I don't think is getting enough of his flowers, that's Draymond Green, and he's doing it off the court. He's running his yap in legendary ways, and this is a guy who is already in the Hall of Fame of talking. The fact that he submitted this in the postseason is just chef's kiss, man. I know we often talk about how guys, remember there was a playoff Murray for a little while. We often talk about how guys elevate their form in the postseason. Draymond's punditry has elevated itself. Let's just watch this first clip.
They played great against my Suns, and they played great in game 1 again. And I was like, dude, I might be wrong.
Suns ain't got no big man, though.
I know that, but they played great in game 1 and game 2 in Denver.
Yes, they did.
They did.
Yes, they did.
Got that settled.
Thought I didn't hear that, Dre,
We found out he was making Chuck's picks.
The Suns ain't got no big man.
You watched him play?
Yeah,
no big man.
Not one big man.
Ain't no big man on the Suns.
talking to you, God.
No, I want to talk. I want to talk.
KD the Suns big man. Not no damn big man.
Hey.
There's not a single big on the Suns, yo. Draymond obviously has a feud going with Yusuf Nurkic of the Phoenix Suns, saying that the Suns have no big man, that KD's their big man. Just legendary stuff. He's giving analysis about Rudy trying to guard Jokic on inside, and it's just, he's talking about Rudy keeps getting moved. Like, this guy is just been on a heater. Obviously, he knows that people expect him to say interesting things. And let's face it, a lot of times during the season, I think he's trying not to be too much of a distraction for his team. And so he sort of tamps down the rhetoric, even on his podcast. But now that he's unencumbered by team obligations and he could just be fully unvarnished Draymond, I am having a great freaking time. Draymond Green, man, keep up the great work. All right, folks, that was our show for this week. Make sure you subscribe to the Ringer NBA's YouTube page. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on this video, man. We want to get the algorithm. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you get notified every single time In My Feelings drops. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.